Dyer's turn to ban. Seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to ban. Seconds. 5 seconds. It is Dyer's ban. Seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. Remember that a true competitor honors a pause. Dyer's turn to pick. Seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. Radiant must choose. Visage. None on this stage shrink from a fight. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to pick. Disruptor! Seconds. 5 seconds remain. Dire must choose.
Timber saw!
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to ban.
Shadow Fiend.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds remain. It is Dire's ban. It is Radiant's ban. Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds. Dire's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to pick. Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. Dire's turn to pick.
Invoker.
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds.
Faceless Void.
Who will enforce your will upon the battlefield today?
每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
你行，你上。
It's looking spicy.
每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
beyond your pathetic limits.
Look at that.
你气不气？你气不气？
终于等到你。
I almost trust you.
That's more like it.
Just 30 seconds now. Consider yourself warned. Who will emerge victorious?
I didn't expect that.
Nice. Thunder.
A true warrior never
Ну давай,
rage
кипни.
quits.
Ну давай, кипни.
Very cool. Do you see a nice like ward over here on the top area, just keeping tabs, being able to see any sort of rotations or, you know, stacking potentially out on the side.
Good bit of vision. Mikke shoved the mid wave really fast there, got 3 of the CS, no deny, so he gets his level 2. But he didn't land any real damage with the races onto the Invoker, just fully using his mana to get that first wave secured.
Top lane Yamich, just trying to pull these creeps over, make it a little bit easier. And also just trying to force the eventually hit underneath the tower. But like we said, you do have that Maledict, and you know, it's a decent amount considering he's tanking a little bit of the creep damage and of course the clicks from Insania. So he's down to half health. Does have a salve though, so.
Insania is on
left
top
because
of
they're
this.
swinging.
Oh, he's gonna get the courier too.
Sacrifice.
Ooh, yeah, that's the bracer right there. Not gonna have the recipe for that for a little bit. This is pretty nice.
I love the way Insania played this. He immediately ran after when the creeps got pulled, because if he just doesn't go here, then Primal Beast is gonna have way too much impact. But he goes here and gets some CSing for himself, you know, a little bit of gold for the pulse 5. If the pulse 5 definitely follow, because there's a bit of gold to be earned when the enemy pulls like this.
I feel like Insania is such a joyful Dota 2 player whenever I see him. It's like, it always seems like in my mind, I think he sees like a current, he's like, ooh, like, gets very excited, which is fun.
I literally can't imagine him without a smile on his face. It's so hard for me. Like, if I think about him, it's just, you know, he's a very cheerful guy overall.
Again, some more harass over onto Yamich here as he continues to do these shenanigans. Still has a healing salve on him, so it's gonna lots more regen out.
kind of rough right now for GPK. Only 4 and 3 CS against a 10 and 5 over on Mickey. He's going to push this creep wave in as well. The problem is when you play this Quas-Wex Invoker, you don't really have that much damage, and against SF with his high damage output and the raises, it's super hard to stop him from getting the farm that he gets.
I was going to ask if this is how this lane typically plays out, just because of the fact that you do have, you know, such high damage on a Shadow Fiend, and with the raises, you have to be very careful about your positioning. Does this seem about typical?
Sort of typical, but a little bit worse than typical, I would say. The SF is slightly ahead of where it should be. Like, I'm expecting him to win the lane, but he's doing really great right now.
I feel like we haven't talked at all about this bottom lane for the most part. Seems like it's going pretty well here for Ramses.
Yeah,
Got the top
fine.
CS.
Good CS, and there's been a lot of harassing going on by the Disruptor, just spamming his Thunderstrike, trying to keep Zai back.
Do you think it's likely we see any kills in this bottom lane, or?
We could definitely end up seeing something, but more likely we're going to see high action on top lane, because right now there's a lot of pressure coming in by VP pushing in with like this double creep wave, and look at the HP on Liquid. Both of them are half HP. A little bit of a tense moment here.
And Sania just got trampled all the way back to his tower by Yamich, and again, he is a big tanky boy.
They want
So
Insania right now.
Yeah, they're going for the dive. Yamich getting right behind this tower. Got himself an onslaught and a trample. DM's just gonna go use that Q. Again, gonna lose the courier. Not be able to finish off Insania though, once they'll get off some of that Maledict. Is that time dilation and just continue farming. So pressure definitely on, but so far nothing coming to fruition.
They were a little bit scared of the cask catching them out there. If they dive, if they go too close, they can't just go on a Witch Doctor because the cask would just stun them next to the tower. So good job by Insania understanding where was the safe zone. He didn't run far into a tree line. He just immediately stayed in the tower range. That's his safety.
Yamich making this rotation over towards the mid lane. Does have a ward on him. He's gonna place it a little bit deeper. Again, trying to probably keep tabs on any sort of stats.
Oh, mid lane
coming through.
It's so close. He has 3 mana, 1 mana away from race. Oh, he finally gets it, but cannot get the race off.
Go eat a couple of those mangoes. Got Boxy who teleport over to the mid lane. Yamich does sit nearby, but looks like they're not going to go for this play. Not when you have someone like this Clockwork here. Waiting patiently. Top lane, more pressure being placed on DM. He is left all alone. This is excellent, the fact that they were able to identify he is alone and doesn't even need that final click. It's still going to be Insania who gets the first blood.
Oh,
Mid lane, get the cogs off over onto GPK. Nikkei, though, just more interested in hitting some of these creeps, and they have another rotation coming out now from Makoto. Yamich rushing forward. Box is not looking good for him, although he has popped his wand. It's going to take one more hit from Makoto to finish up, but at the same time, they'll end up losing Yamich, so a support trade here in the mid lane.
No mid laner was harmed in the making of this. Both of them are surviving and being happy. But yeah, the supports understanding that this mid matchup is quite important to try and get your team ahead a little bit, which is why we see Dakota also controlling the bottom rune, making sure SF doesn't get a bottle refill for free here.
That feels bad too. He was so close to it, a regen rune to boot, but not going to be able to achieve it as he clearing up that mana over on Mickey, but he does have someone teleporting in, so he'll be able to get himself a little bit of fruit and a refilled bottle as they go for a smoke play. Boxy though, smoke will pop immediately. Yamich dropping the ward, they ping it out. And they do have, oh, it's just an observer, so have to go and pick themselves up a sentry. But yeah, you can see now Mickey rotating over here to this top lane. Sania just kind of plinking away. DM seems unaware.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's gonna too far.
There it is. There's the Maledict. They follow up with Cast. Not going to get too many bounces, but they do a lot of damage. So this is not looking like DM will survive by any means. A nice rotation from Mickey, and he's going to be able to collect himself a kill. In the bottom lane, though, they go for the dive on Zai.
Boom, there it goes.
Be able to clean up Visage.
That's a big kill because they're catapult alive and they can now push the tower bottom. So VP in a good spot to do the first bit of real tower damage in this game.
Teleporting in does have to be careful. They do have the onslaught on Yamcha if they decide to run in, but the Witch Doctor also rotating. It's a powerful combination with the Maledict. He's gonna look for the cast. Cast comes out, they'll get the glimpse back, but he's already got the Maledict, so Hakoda not looking too great, although he's able to move away pretty quickly. Not sure they have quite enough damage, although you do see that rocket flare. It's gonna be a decent amount of damage, but not enough to finish off the Disruptor.
That's a very clutch kinetic field there. If he didn't do it like just in time there, then there would be one more race from SF, and that would surely have been his death. So nice play by Hakoda. He manages to get out. Identical CS right now for the both of the carries here. We have a good game going on for Morphling, but same can be said for the Faces Void. Both are enjoying quite free fun.
The rumble, the run through from Yamich. Mickey's already got that haste spell. They'll be able to get the Maledict off, but it's still going to be a kill. As now GPK forced to use the Tornado because he's got 3 heroes chasing. They even go for the Chronosphere because Matu has made this rotation. Mickey's on a killing spree. First crown of the game used, gets a kill on the mid lane, so Liquid has to be pretty gosh darn happy about that.
Yeah, that's what you want when you play Void. You want to see some opportunity to just TP in and be useful by just dropping the Chrono. When you have SF, you can easily deal the damage into the Chronosphere as well, so to get that cooldown used. One big difference between the two teams here, of course, Morphling, while we talked about him being able to be active early, he doesn't have that big incentive to join the fight right now.
Bottom lane, plays being made on Ramses. Land the Maledict, which they do have. They have a pretty big nuke amount of damage, but the follow-up is here from BP. GPK getting into position, opened up with that Tornado throw right back over onto Mickey. They want this kill. They run on through, and he's already used the fairy fire. They're still going to manage to get the kill on Mickey. Now Insania running for his life. Hakoda, he's already used all of his spells at this point, so he's not going to be able to go for the glimpse play back. Does have the kinetic field. And he'll be able to buy a bit more time in Insania. He's thinking about going back. Matu's here, though. They have to be a little bit careful. As he uses the time dilation. Zai looking for the opening. Will be able to slow Yamich. But the rest of the team on the side of VP, they're happy with being able to get the kill on Mickey, so they're just going to back off.
Still a win for VP there. Getting the Shadow Fiend kill is really huge for them. And they did protect the Morphling. He's a hard hero to kill, even with like triple races, Maledict landing. He can still just morph more strength and be completely fine unless you're able to dive under tower. And they react. VP with the good moves over the map there.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't make his way over there when he did, that was a definite on Ramses. Nice identification. It's good having everybody nearby. And speaking of a good position at the right time, Yamish manages to find a kill on Insania. He's had enough of all these Maledicts.
Yeah, he's pinging out that he thinks there's a ward there as well, but the ward isn't where he pinged, so good sneaky deep ward by Radiant. Getting that kill for them. That one was not so sneaky,
They do see this one, though. Yeah, immediately they see the ping. This is giving DM some more space, though, because he was having a little bit of a difficult time here in the top lane as Yamich returning. Let's spot out Boxy. He's used all of his spells. Nice little sidestep, though. He's gonna have the power cogs very soon too, so if they overextend, they'll have a way of protecting and also just holding them in place. As you can also see, Insania and Mickey making their way top. The glimpse over onto Box's Hakoda's here. They'll drop the power cogs. And they'll follow up now, try and get the Sunstrike, but Boxy is just going to be able to go and chain out as the follow-up from Insania and Mickey is here. Okay, he's going to turn his attention over to the camp because it feels like VP are going to back off after that last attempt at murder.
My god, Boxy, the little clockwork that could, man. He really stayed alive for a long time there. Perfect movements and understanding of how to dodge the kill attempts there. Even got his level 6 during all of that and managed to hook away from a potential Sunstrike. Only level 1 Sunstrike, but still, good place.
Opportune time to get your hook shot. The game's kind of, I don't want to say slowing down necessarily, but, oh, okay, hold on. We have a smoke play coming out from the side of VP. They're hoping that they can find Mickey in the jungle. They know that he's been hitting a lot of these creep camps, but he's already made his way back to the mid lane. So it looks like they might just rejoin here with DM. Oh no, they'll turn back around. Hook shot over onto Yamish. Hold into place. Mickey getting off a couple of these hits. Just uses the one raise, so they'll be able to take out one of their main initiators. Now Insania. They only managed to grab Insania on this. I don't think you're too upset about that if you're Liquid, because now they're going to try to just move forward. They don't have any mana left, though, over on Boxy. That time dilation coming to play. GPK, he has that tornado, but they follow up with the Chronosphere just to hold GPK in place, even though point's not anywhere near here. And they'll go for that Requiem, following up with the battery. So Dakota will pull to Zai while this is going on, and they manage to chase down GPK in the end.
Really nice play there by VP. The fact that Matumba was able to get that close, able to join, and he only has 3 points time walk, and still he's able to get to these fights in time, in good position. So I like what we're seeing from Matumba in this game. He's very active with the Chrono. Once he has it, he wants to be a part of the fights.
A little bit of a chase over onto Yamish here in the bottom lane. So this Maledict is doing so much work this game, I feel. They even go and use that Death Ward. Sure that they collected, although now Zai taking a bit of damage here from Ramses. You have the two birds, and they're going to poke away on the backlines over on Dakota. They do manage to get the kill, but the hook shot and over onto Ramses. Get a glimpse back over to Mickey, but now he's a little bit closer to Ramses, so I'm not sure if that was necessarily what they wanted to do. That tornado coming out the coconut, though, bouncing around. This is looking very bad for Morphling. Mickey, man, this guy is absolutely dominating, as Matu will clean up Dakota on the back lines.
They're getting a lot right now, and the momentum on this SF. He was doing so much right-click damage there. I didn't think Morphling was actually going to go down, but they catch him in the cogs, and SF just laid in. That's the problem when you start morphing heavily into strength. To get HP, the less and less armor you will have, and Shadow Fiend hits for 200 damage a hit right now.
Dire should look
Dark
to
Lord,
their
but
top tower.
Up quite yet.
Yeah, that's before he even has it. Once he
Yeah.
starts getting that involved as well, his damage is going to get even higher.
Surprised with how hard he's hitting. Bottom lane. A little bit of pressure being placed on Yamich. I will say, though, during all this, DM has had a decent amount of time to himself. He's got himself the Vanguard completed. Hold that thought, though, in the mid lane. Looks like GPK wants, oh, the hook shot, though, coming in from Boxy. It's going to hold him into place, get a glimpse back. They'll drop the Static Storm, but there's nothing to control them into it. So it is an ultimate for what? Although DM is joining in, but he's gone a little bit far here as Insania goes, drops the cast, will be able to get the Maledict off, but doesn't feel like they want to necessarily collapse on him just yet, because Mickey, he's like, I've got some things to farm, I'm getting very close to this BKB. We're gonna need maybe a little bit more, but yeah, here comes Matu. We're looking for that Chronosphere. He's having a good time. He's taunting his way over. Question is, will VP respect it? And it looks like they will.
Look how well they're playing, though, on that timer. They understand the cooldown of Chrono. They pressure as much as they can, and the moment the Chrono is about to come off, like 5 seconds remaining on the cooldown, they back out.
Thinks this is a dead Hakoda. Drops the kinetic field, does manage to grab Matu, but I think Insania's got this all under wraps. While this is going down, we see that Ramses kills off Zai.
Yeah, he had quite a bit of help there, both the Invoker and the Primal Beast joining. Zai, no way to strive against that. Let's go down. Game still not really in anyone's clear favor. I would say both teams are in, you know, good enough shape to turn this into an advantage, but they're fighting for it so much. Right now, Liquid probably a little bit more in the driver's seat, being able to join with the Chrono right now. And they have the full Maelstrom Mask of Madness, so he can solo kill anyone, but he can do a serious amount of damage. Definitely solo kill anyone except Morphling, probably. And Timber, of course. The massive tankiness.
I'd have to say there is a huge advantage coming up here. Mickey is so close to finishing off that BKB. That's going to be a huge power spike when you're up against something like a Timbersaw, like this Invoker. All these guys that rely heavily on the magic, but there we go. There's the Chronosphere. They dropped the Static Storm onto Insania, so he's not going to be able to get his ultimate off. And there's not much mana left on him either. It's not looking great. As we'll take down Insania, but now Matu, he gets caught out by GPK, and they finish off just cleaning up after Liquid, one after one. Mickey running for his life, does have the BKB though, so it looks like VP, they're happy with that engagement. They were able to follow up fast enough, and they got themselves a kill on Matu, which I feel was needed.
It was definitely needed. It was a good read too, because they saw Matu farming top before, then they sent the Timbersaw to farm the top lane, and he was baiting. They were sitting behind him ready to counter initiate, and the moment that the Chrono goes down, they are there with Disruptor, Static Storm, and it's completely turned around.
Right, so what are we going to start seeing now from the side of VP? We know that this Morphling, he's going to continue to farm. He is currently sitting at the top of the net worth. Going to be going for the Manta, it looks like, next. But are we going to be seeing, you know, more pressure being placed, or are they going to just kind of chill out over on the side of VP? Time being.
They're going to look to fight for sure. Oh, we're going to see Disruptor go a little bit too deep.
That's not their choice to fight. That was unfortunate series of events. Is over on the side, Timber Chain out, but the hook coming out from Foxy. Also to follow. They'll be able to clean him up. A little bit of damage being placed out from Zyme, but DM, he's a big tanky boy. He has some assistance from GPK. They're very happy with this pickoff.
Yeah, it's a good pickoff, but in the end, it's just a 1-for-1 trade, so not too much done, and Liquid invested more time and resources moving more heroes over. Whereas VP, if you ask me how they're going to play, I think they're going to play exactly like they're doing here, which is not too stressed. They were still farming bottom with their Primal Beast. The +4 is just taking the time to get, you know, even more farm. Even though he already has his Blink Dagger, he realizes he needs BKB in this game at some point. So they're not playing with high stress. They have the Midas on Invoker. Morphling is hitting creeps jungle. I still think that Liquid's lineup probably scales a little bit better in my opinion. But down the road, we might even see that Aghanim's Disruptor. So for sure, VP have some serious threats.
Flashbacks of the game the other night where they had a Clockwork and they had a Disruptor, both trying to get the Aghanim Scepter as their first item.
Navi, of course, yeah.
Yeah, this is not VP.
Yeah, Navi playing that Clockwork Disruptor, both fighting to get to big Aghanim Scepter. But this game, I think, it looks more like I want to see it. But we're just slowly building towards it.
DM jumping forward, does have the Maledict on him, and they've already used the Death Ward, so... It's like they're happy with that exchange. DM can just take so much damage, honestly, even with that Maledict. Doesn't seem too concerned now that he's got himself Vanguard. Does have the cloak, I believe he just switched out for the clarity, but is aware that, you know, he does have to be careful of all the magic damage that can come out from the Maledict. And Mickey, of course.
Yeah, there's certainly a large amount of burst, and we might see a rotation here with the smoke on Faceless Void. They're looking to get a big pick-off. Look at the positioning by Yamich, though. He's smoke revealing on the cliff.
That's pretty smart. They go, use the flare. They know he's up there, so they'll hook shot up, get that vision, and just burst him down. But it's still not too shabby here, although it looks like they're going to go right into the Roche pit because of this. And that is a little problematic for the side of VP because they're not going to be able to take a 5v5.
Yeah, a bit of a bad read there by Yamich as well, not using his Blink Dagger immediately. When he smoke revealed, he tried to charge away with Onslaught, but that does have a build-up time, and Liquid has some fast disables coming out, so he just blinked to safety. He could have lived, but he probably wasn't expecting them to be that low. He's looking more to top right, expecting the smoke to come from there.
Now this is pretty scary for the side of VP because now not only do you have an Aegis, you've got a Chronosphere that you have to watch out for. They still have that BKB over on Mickey. Although Matu in the bottom lane, they do make the jump on him right away, but just not quite enough damage, I think, as he moves forward. Goes to the Chronosphere, grabs GPK, and Insanian getting into position, walks into the Chrono, just wants to make sure though that he can get a stun off if necessary. There's the cast over on Hakoda. So it was a brilliant try coming out from VP, but at the end of the day, just not quite enough damage.
What a nice Chrono 2, catching him on the edge there on the Invoker. Yeah, that was a nice try. They wanted to get rid of the Aegis immediately. That would make the game easier to play. Oh, Morphling might be able to.
Ramses!
Close.
That was very close.
Gotta be careful when you Mask Commander silence yourself as Void. Someone might jump you. But he does keep the Aegis, and he almost has the full BKB now after that too. A little bit of a tough spot. I think their power spike is going to be when they have the Aghanims complete over on the side of Morphling. That will make him a lot stronger.
Bit of playful teasing back and forth as Boxy does manage to miss the hook shot. Which makes his way bottom along with DM. Possibly push them out of the jungle. But Liquid having a pretty decent read on us. Chain forward, onslaught over onto Insano, immediately goes for the voodoo switcheroo. They'll turn this attention right back to Yamich, so he's going to be the initiator, but he's still going to end up dying. And now DM not looking too great himself as they do have that Death Ward. We'll go for a glimpse play back, which should be enough to keep DM alive. But the rest of the team, they're coming in hot. As they
the
send
birds are
in
chasing
Nikkei, they send
Dakota.
inside. They want to get a stun off. They should be able to close the gap over on Hakoda at the very least. So that is going to be a dead disruptor. A nice turnaround after they tried to make the gank play over on Insania and Matu.
That's one of the tricky things and why I think Witch Doctor is so strong, right? I was hyping that Witch Doctor should be respected more and picked more. Look at him. You try and gank him, he just hops into his switcheroo. It's really tricky to get that kill. You don't expect a boss 5 to be, you know, so strong, but he honestly does a lot of damage while also buying himself time to survive. That shard, man. It's a really good shard.
They're going to try to force them out of this area of the map. The glimpse back over onto Zai, and there's just not too much that they can really do to help out. As he's going to be the first one to fall. Yamich was going for that pulverize, chasing after Mikkei, but feels like they're going to back off. And we've got the Faceless Void still nearby. He's going to have the Chronosphere up in about a second.
Bit surprised that Mika didn't try to BKB and ulti there to maybe help Zai and save him, but just keep his Requiem ready. But maybe he could have feared people away and let Zai have a chance of surviving there.
Maybe they wanted to hold on to it because they have the Chronosphere coming up very soon too, so they want to have maximum efficiency with the damage. But do have the Aghanim Scepter picked up now from Morphling, so that is a big power spike for him.
Yeah, he's a bit more fight ready now, and I think they want to start using the Morphling more aggressively. He has only been part of 4 kills, and right now I think VP are struggling a little bit in these engagements, and we see Liquid having much more impact with their carry. Matumba's already been in 10 kills, using the Chrono off cooldown as much as he can. So I think VP, they can't get too comfortable here. They need to use Morphling a bit more aggressively overall.
That is one thing I've really enjoyed about like the patches that we had recently in the past year, is that the cores are becoming more and more aggressive. A little bit of vision there from the Rocket Flare. Mikkei is going to get picked up and pulverized. The follow up with the Sunstrike as he blinks out. Have to be careful though. It does not have a TP. That is scary. Foxy not going to be able to find him. He's going to be off to the other side.
They just expect he left. He's still there. He doesn't actually have TP anymore. Can be stuck there for a while, but he'll be completely fine as they don't really bother to check. He's gonna go for the next creep wave. Sneaky play. Like, you didn't get me.
It's a little cheeky to be doing that for sure, but I mean, they've already moved on. They've got their attention over on the tower.
Yeah, but they're not gonna get the tower without a creep wave, so him cutting that wave was very nice. They're now backing out and fixing bottom and mid lane, as VP have been pretty active about shoving the lanes overall and keeping Liquid back as much as they can. Just
Looks like it's gonna be the time of BKBs soon. Ramsey's got, oh, he was looking at it potentially, but ends up going for the Scotty. I think Hey does have it planned in his life. Yeah, we saw a little bit of harass over onto Yamich.
You see that Mick is playing more of a spellcaster SF in this game, by the way. He's going for a Hex next item.
Two, gonna get glimpsed back, but they do have Foxy and they've got Mikkei. You know what? Mikkei doesn't care if he's silenced up. He's just gonna put you down.
He still does a lot of right-click damage, of course, but he is going to build into this control Shadow Fiend with BKB, Blink, and Hex. Probably going to go for the Swift Blink at some point this game too, and we can expect to see him late game going Refresher. I think all of this is because he wants lockdown against Morphling. This is purely a reaction when you see Morphling. You need more control. He doesn't want to just try and right-click win against Morphling because that's very difficult.
Up in the bottom lane, GPK has got that Ghost Walk up currently. He's gonna try to make some moves over onto Zai. Got the Spirit Vessel charge, followed with the Meatball, but the hook shot over onto the back lines. Poxy will be able to put GPK back as Monty pops the BKB. Making his way over to GPK. He's gonna be able to help get the kill. Poxy's gonna get the final hit. As now DM is going to TP out, but they'll use the Chronosphere. They say, you're not going anywhere. Again, that Maledict coming into play, the Voodoo Switcheroo, trying to get as much damage off to TM as possible, and they'll be able to finally slay the Timbersaw after he's made it out alive multiple times.
That surprised me a little bit that they went for for Visage on bottom there because they had a ward in their own jungle. They saw that Liquid were in the area. They saw multiple of them actually in this jungle, and they still decided to commit over on the Visage. And of course, Visage having this tanky build, he has Plate Mail, Shard, he has, you know, the Wraith Pack to mitigate damage. I think VP should have tried to go for the ones that they saw in the jungle instead of this Visage.
Pressure being placed on the bottom tower. They even went and popped the drums. A little extra burst. You see a teleport coming down though. It's GPK. Try to defend. Hakoda pinging out that he sees himself a Mickey. Insania is going to back off along with Zai. So they are grouped together. They're ready for a fight if needed, but there it is. There's a glimpse back into the silence with that static storm. They'll drop the Wraith Pack though, trying to just mitigate some of this damage, but they rip it down so quickly. Zai, he's not going to be able to do much here as he's going to try to just come back up after that stone. But they'll follow up with the Sunstrike.
Oh no, he resummons. He lost his bird.
Lost one, that's for sure. Uh-oh, Insania now is here. Feels like they weren't quite prepared to go into this fight necessarily, although Ramses, he's split up, so there's going to be a nice glimpse back over onto Matu. They'll go use the Requiem. They need a little bit more damage to finish on Ramses. They did fight back on the Primal Beast as DM comes in. Mickey, though, already popping the BKB. It's a little bit of a split fight now as Matu gets picked up by this Primal Beast. The chase is on, though. They finally take down Boxy. Matu, though, doesn't feel super confident. He's going to teleport away.
I don't think they're going to be able to find SS as well, but this was an amazing play by Ramses. He turned into Face's Void and just stayed alive for so long, using the time walk there. That was very confident by Liquid to try and take that fight after they already lost the Visage and when they didn't have Chrono. This is what VP need. VP need to take fights when Chrono is on cooldown, when SF ulti is, you know, perhaps the only thing that they have to really worry about as far as big ultimates go. I think VP are quite strong, but they do struggle with Matumba when he has that ulti ready, so they need to play around it smartly, bait him to use it, or take fights immediately after a previous team fight.
Feels like everybody's waiting for that Roshan respawn up here in the top lane. Still gonna be a bit. That Rocket Flare does scout out the two of them. What are we doing here? Disruptor. The big dreams.
Arcane Blink being queued up for the SF. Already has the Hex, of course, so he's gonna try and have big lockdown in this game.
Go for the smoke play. I believe this is going to be the Hex reveal as well, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be the reveal.
He used it in the last one.
I mean, he already revealed that he was building it. He had the components for it.
Right. Look at Mickey. He's like, maybe some come for this rune. And they ping it out. They see that the arcane rune does get snapped up. So VP just immediately hugging together, realizing they're trying to hunt for a pick-off. Let's not give it to them.
Yeah, they're losing control over the Roshan area, but they still have one crucial ward that has not been found by Team Liquid. If they can keep this ward in the Roche area, that might set them up for a good fight. You have sentries though on Boxy, but I don't think he realizes.
Another 10 seconds before Roche will respawn.
He with the smoke, trying to do something, perhaps bait with DM and then follow up. They know. If DM is showing this far up on the mid lane, they know that everyone is behind them.
Question is, since they don't see this ward that's been placed over on the cliffside, they try to make some sort of a smoke play on the side of Liquid. Yeah, I believe they saw that.
Yeah, that smoke was definitely seen over on VP, so we're gonna see them back up.
Oh, Yamish though. Yamish breaking that smoke almost instantly. Hookshot not gonna connect.
He's so fast at getting out of there. He has Onslaught, Force Staff, and Blink Dagger. This Primal Beast is out of there.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's works hard on his cardio, but clearly. Ooh, he has some schmoves. GPK throwing out the tornado into the Roche pit. Pulverize comes off immediately over here onto Boxy. They'll fall the BKB on Matu.
Oh, that's an early BKB. Bit of a window here for VP.
Sitting a little bit low. DM jumping forward. That BKB getting popped from DM. The glimpse back over onto Matu though into the static storm. This is looking pretty scary now as they use the cheat stick over onto Ramsey. The Matu, he will indeed pop to GPK. DM chasing after Zai. We've got such a split fight here. The attention though going over to the side. They'll be able to grab up Lakota. They'll finish him off. But the follow-up again with another tornado. Delta split going on. Follow-up with a Sunstrike. Not going to be able to quite land. It is now Ramses making his way over to these supports on the side of Liquid. Gets kill on Zai. Go and they'll pulverize Boxy. Can they grab Insania? It's looking like they should be able to. Yeah, a couple cuts from the big old blade of Timbersaw will finish them, and they can make their way over into the pit now.
Beautiful fight there by VP, and the fact that Matumba was baited to use his BKB early, they backed out and didn't give him a chance to get a good chrono off, and then with the glimpse, due to that ward that they still had, we were talking about this ward and its importance. That ward allowed for Disruptor to get a glimpse, pulling back the no BKB Void, dropping the Static Storm, and they just kill him cleanly. From there on, the fight is already despair.
You see Zai's birds almost getting ripped apart here. Go in and try to make the play. Almost managing to do the damage to Yamish, but still gonna end up being the Radiant who takes the Aegis and puts it on
the shard? I wonder. They have the shard over on Morphling now, but he already has one.
Question.
He probably pass it over to the Timbersaw? The Invoker? Invoker could be nice too.
Well, we already have the very creatively named Rock Throw. Having him shard picked up on Yamich. That's not going to be him.
It's a nice ability to have, honestly, for a support Primal Beast more so than for a core, because now we can sit back and be a little bit of an artillery as well, dumping spells in from a long distance. I want to say in these team fights, in these team fights, a big thing is that Morphling's always turning himself into Faceless Void and diving in to get that time dilation placed on Team Liquid. I think the Lincoln Sphere that he's building on Faceless Void can have huge impact if he can no longer turn into Faceless Void.
It does seem like a good way to hinder, considering that that's one of the main reasons why these fights are going so well for VP whenever he's able to get that duplicate.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah. Oh, I just heard from the other streams that Secret have won against T1 in 27 minutes.
Top tower has
What?
Wow. Yeah. Seems like a fast win.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think the only thing that we've seen faster was, I think Polaris was up against Tempest, right? That was a 23-minute game and a 20-minute game. But that's surprising considering how well T1's been playing. All right, Secret, they're in TI form.
Certainly. Game is heating up a lot now. VP feeling very confident, want to make multiple moves. They're taking mid tower and trying to get the squeeze on Liquid here, who are in their jungle. They're trying to catch anyone. They have a Hex on Invoker. Sees anything? Oh.
He's Insania, that's for sure. Opens up with the Hex, there's down the meatball, the trample. And there goes Insania.
But you're in the way.
Oh, they have a gem over on Invoker too.
Yeah, he's super fight ready. He wants Blink Dagger, and then he's like perfect form for fighting, I would say, with Blink, BKB, Hex. He's just gonna be ready to kill pretty much anything that he can find.
I got a good snipe on Zai's Courier. He's not going to be able to finish up that Assault Cuirass just yet, although it looks like it was just the recipe at this time. Still working on the Hyperstone. That Rock Throw coming into play as Yamish just runs through. They go for the Chrono Sphere and they manage to grab Ramses. BKB comes out from Matu. They pop the Lincolns. They're putting some more damage over onto me. He should be able to wave forward. He turns himself into his own Faceless Void. Now this is what we're talking about. That slow. All of it coming out from Ramses when he gets the morph off. Now Mickey having to blink away. The BKB duration has already passed. See Matu just sliding back and forth here, trying to get them off of this tower. It's going to be proving a little bit difficult when you no longer have that Chronosphere after using it so early and not getting the kill.
So difficult to get a kill on the Morphling when he has Shard and Aegis as well. It was pretty committed to use that on an Aegis Morphling. I'm surprised they even used the Chrono because they need to kill the other heroes, I think.
Pressure's on. They're just able to rip apart these buildings in this top portion of the map so easily. They've got the Alacrity over on Ramses too, so he's hitting even faster. Mania trying what again, but little Witch Doctor has to be very careful.
They have to wait for clock to respawn. That's the only thing they can play around here. Get a nice hook shot, perhaps.
With a little bit of Sunstrike.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Birds will clean up though, slow them down just a little bit. Coming out from Zai, again these birds trying to do whatever they can won't be able to go and drop in for another couple seconds as they end up losing one.
Invoker
Yeah,
isn't
there it goes. The
Could be a good
follow
time.
up. There's the BKB. Yeah, he is not there. And they're still doing quite well on the side of VP. Still have that Aegis too.
Yeah, they're gonna back out cleanly now as well, realizing that Aegis is gonna last for like 40 more seconds, but they don't really want to stay there and push when there's a tier 2 tower to take and open up the map even
gift
more.
from the
Don't get too
tempest of
greedy.
battle.
I love the discipline coming out from VP because they already got one lane. They took the tower as well mid, and now they can keep opening up even more by getting this tier 2 possibly. However, they did go base and reset some full HP and mana on all the heroes.
There was some serious confidence coming out from the side of VP to send GPK, just have him be elsewhere during that fight. Knowing
Look at
that.
Akoda! Finally! He didn't even
He's
have
got
to
it?
sell all his items.
Let's go! I mean, he does have a shovel. I'm sure some of those bounty runes helped, but...
Oh, certainly. But yeah, 37 minutes in, the big dreamer has finally realized his dreams. He has the Aghanims on Disruptor. This is a huge tool, and he wants to smoke gank right now. He has a smoke on him, probably calling his team over like, I'm super strong, we can kill anything that I catch.
If there was ever a time to party horn as a little disruptor, I think now would be the time. All right, let's see what they...
Almost trusted.
Glimmer over on Yaman. She's just trying to get some vision. There's the smoke.
Homing in.
Matu's paired up here with Boxy. They should see the angle from the rocket. They don't know that Matu's with him, though. I don't know. Oh, nope, they have a ward. They do know exactly where they are. Just gonna have to close that gap. Casual Sunstrike.
Scouting a bit.
They smoke on their own.
And Liquid need a big chrono now. They are really struggling in these fights. They have to try and find the Invoker for multiple heroes.
Hook shots in, grabs DM. Matu coming forward, realizes it's... Oh, there it is. There's that silence we talked about with the ads. They just rip apart Matu. I forgot it will die, but he's already done what is needed during this fight. The trample coming through here from Yamich. They're chasing after Zai, chasing after Boxy. They managed to get their hands on Boxy with that over at Mickey standing on the back lines along with Insania. Insania's got a cast available. They're going to go for the play here to get the Maledict off and follow up with some of these hits. A nice play from Mickey. He's just going to teleport out, though. He's more than happy with what he got. As Zai drops the birds, tries to make his way out. Now Insania, he is going to get left behind. That Voodoo Restoration is very pretty, but it is not going to do enough to save you from the likes of these three.
Yeah, they did the best they could in this fight, but the fact that they went in with the Faceless Void and didn't immediately use BKB, that puts him at great danger. If Disruptor is nearby and he has that telescope, he can easily reach with the ulti. Still going high ground here, VP.
On and pop the Lincolns over on Ramses. Put out the sheep stick. Backlines, the GPK smells blood in the water. He's got a decent amount of damage over into Mickey with those meatballs. Zybird's doing whatever they can to try to push them off from this building, try to pop the Lincolns and keep this Morphling vulnerable. It
horrible
is
thing.
proving to be difficult.
Sweden's biggest weakness, it's meatballs. We can't resist. You know, he just walked along the meatball because it's what's natural to us Swedes. We can't avoid it.
Haste.
Being out
All
now,
right.
VP want to reset. They're waiting for the respawn. They want to have their Timbersaw coming back. And Timbersaw, he has 6,000 gold right now. He's ready to purchase up an entire Hex. Seems to be his preferred item. Could totally see him switching in and going as Shivas as well, but Hex seems like a fantastic option when you have both the Faceless Void and the SF that you would prefer to lock down here.
Liquid on the hunt.
Changes to Aghanims on Timber instead. He's thinking he wants more damage output.
Okay.
Could be.
This is such a good item for GPK. He's got himself the ninja gear, which allows him to move about just so freely. Feel a support. And maybe, you know, Liquid, they're thinking, okay, well, this is the best we can do for now, but he can immediately pop out. Surprise them using this item. Such a good item.
Yeah, Ninja Gear works on a lot of heroes. It's quite fantastic. I mean, obviously, most agi carries are happy to have it, but anyone who wants to look for pickoffs or has a big spell to hide, which is, you know, almost all heroes in Dota you cover at that point, the item. And the movement
They
speed
saw
you
the
get this
smoke.
needs.
There's the hook shot coming out immediately. Forced down. Just gonna leave him up there for a little bit.
Going in.
Still got the
Everybody
D-ward.
wants this rush. The double damage. Oh. Gonna be the Primal Beast who snaps that up because he Morphling was considering it, but it's a little bit risky. We've already gone and used the Wraith Pack, so it's not going to be available if they decide to go for this fight. In fact, right now we're seeing Matu. He was hitting some of these creeps, but is very fast. He's very mobile. Yamich sitting on the top, going to be that distraction as the birds do spot. This Roche is sitting at about half health. How do they get in there? Because look at Hakoda. He knows that he's got to be in position. And Matu's got to be careful. He's got to make sure that he can get that BKB in time to zip forward and back. Yamich, there it is. There's the Chronosphere on the backline. He pops the BKB, doing so much damage to GPK. He is going to die. Buy back, though, immediately from Yamich, from GPK. Zai left over here on the right, so they chase into the pit. Nikkei trying to get some of this damage off. Static Storm gets dropped over onto Nikkei. Yamich jumping in, but it's not enough. They get the kill over on Hakoda. Now GPK, he popped back. He can't afford to die, as Matu wails away on him. Try and keep this information. They get that deafening blast. A couple more hits should be able to do the trick. And by God, they have it as they get multiple buybacks. The fight is still going. They find themselves down. The team's running for his life. They do manage to get Mickey, but Mickey buying back immediately as well. Very little mana left over on DM as Revelings is left off to the side. Side trying to do what he can. They'll end up getting a cover. They're still chasing after Ramses. There's the hook shot though coming out from Boxy. He gets his hands right onto this Morphling. They'll drop the rock. They're gonna push back over onto this Morphling, but he's just so damn hard to kill. Yamich jumping back in, sees himself Boxy. He's got the pulverize. They've got Scotty damage. Do they go back in? Those question marks. He's somehow still alive after all is said and done. Is he gonna survive this? He makes it out as they chase after Yamich. They'll just jump forward. Matu gets himself. DPM is here. He's taking so much punishment, so much damage. Forces out that Lotus Orb. Ramses forced to run away again. And what a huge fight coming out here around the Roche pit where Liquid, multiple buybacks coming out from both teams, but they get the kill on multiples over on VP and they do not have the buyback. So this Roche belongs to Liquid.
That is the craziest fight we've had in the entire qualifier so far. That is absolutely nuts out of the games that we've seen. They kill Roche super fast, and we see a little bit of a recap here. Look at GPK. He got too far up, gets caught out, and Matumba played very cautiously in this fight, not to get caught out this time by Disruptor, who also gets caught out of position afterwards. And GPK, after his buyback, he goes aggressive here. I think he can turn it around with the Primal Beast, but he gets left alone here, sort of, and that was a huge blow. Morphling going in.
Going in again, he does end up getting stunned, and they still have the other birds. Koda standing nearby, Boxy the hook shot over onto the back lines, though. He comes up from Matu. He doesn't want to get hit with a Static Storm and end up falling. They still manage to get the kill on Koda. DM joining back in. Boxy taking a lot of damage. They'll be able to burn. But now they don't have Hakoda. They don't have that Static Storm for about 60-something seconds. They're gonna have to just reset on the side of VP. But luckily, it looks like Liquid is considering taking this top tower. There is GPK here, though.
They saw his TP. They saw Morphling coming. Morphling? Oh, he's got to think better of it. He's backing out. He's not going to top lane.
Oh, is he? Is he? Make the opening over onto Mickey. The force out. Matu jumps forward with the time walk. He's looking for GPK. Of course, still hidden with the Ghost Walk as the rest of the side of Virtus Pro make their way top. They're getting very aggressive, but big item. Refresher Orb picked up now for the Faceless Void, and there's a completed Shiva's Guard now for DM.
Yeah, there's some serious item progressions happening here. I think the Shivas can be huge to keep DM alive, but also this refresher makes it easier for Matumba not to have to worry about the Aghanim's Disruptor as much. We saw it have good impact, but he has struggled a little bit now that it was revealed. It's usually one of those surprise factor items where the Aghanim's Disruptor catches people off guard, and then next team fight, they're gonna be much more careful not to get caught out by it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna struggle to get another good Static Storm in this game.
I almost wonder, yeah, I mean, on the bright side for him, right? You are seeing that the BKB is down to a 6-second duration, but the amount of damage that can output from this Faceless Void is still just very, very scary. So, like, in some ways, I'm like, do you wait until the chrono when maybe the BKB is worn off? But again, you're going to probably end up losing a core during that, right?
Well, the thing is that they both have 12 seconds of BKB, right? On Mickey and on Matumba, they both have refreshers at this point. So either you catch them before, or you're gonna take 12 seconds of punishment. And in Dota, that's long enough that you can expect to lose that's all that you have in the team fight. So I think Hakoda, his positioning is super important. He's trying to get to a blink dagger, realizing that if I don't go in first, if I don't find myself in a good position at start of the fights, I'm gonna be too late to have any impact.
A lot of pressure for Hakoda.
2 minutes now on the Aegis for Liquid, so they want to start pushing towards the base here of VP. Definitely don't want to waste your Aegis timing, as they have a good advantage, but they're still 10,000 gold behind. They're in a good position right now, but that will switch. Once the Aegis is gone, it's again going to be VP who are quite comfortable in this game.
Radiant's top tower is no more.
Team's going to Power Rangers TP home. VP playing his bottom part of the map. DM will walk into Matu here, and there's immediately the blink with the sheep stick. The BKB comes out from Matu. He's going to just use that Chronosphere. You have to be careful, though. The rest of the team, are they going to come back? No, they just realized we got to leave them. We're not going to take this fight. Okay. Ooh. He thought about TPing out. He saw that one. He's like, nope, nope, nope. I'm just going to blink away. And Matu's still on the hunt. Again, he does have a refresher orb. He finds himself Hakoda. He's going to go for that refresher orb just in case. Starts beating away over onto Hakoda. Should be able to get this kill, no problem. As now GPK doesn't have that TP up for another 18 seconds. So has to hope that no one's looking for him. But the
I
rest
love
of the
that
team
play by
already
Matumba.
out.
He went down to bottom lane so confidently, knowing he has the Aegis, knowing that, you know, there's no way that I'm gonna die twice without being able to do, you know, something to save myself, BKB or drop down the chrono. So he goes down even alone. They were showing people on mid, which made VP feel safe enough to stay there and farm, but Matumba just went in alone and murdered the poor disruptor.
Is under attack.
Now he has a second Chronosphere, 20-something seconds though left on the Aegis, so he does have to be respectful, because they can dish out plenty of damage. Lincoln's on him, making it a little bit more difficult for Ramses to try to get that morph off. And he's pushing, popping back and forth, gets the steal, but there's no shot coming out from Boxy. They push back over onto GPK, and he just doesn't stand a chance. He's down for 90-something seconds. No buyback on this Invoker. Right side Aegis does get reclaimed over on Matu. So they might want to be respectful of that, but these birds are just ripping through these racks right now. There's just nothing that VP can do about them at this time. We'll see DM coming back up in about 6 seconds. A little bit of the waveform over onto Boxy. There's BKB coming out, but already Boxy is going to be able to just keep moving. And there it is. There's the second Chronos here. Boxy does eventually get ripped apart, but they'll get the kill over on Yamich. They have their eyes over onto DM, and Sania, though, left behind. Most likely going to fall, but Ramses, he's so separated from the rest of the team. He can't survive that. He's immediately dead. Do have the buyback on Ramses for... Otherwise, he's down for 95 seconds. They'll buy back on Zai. They can smell blood in the water. The TP comes out again from Ramses. He doesn't want to end up losing another bit of these buildings. Chakram's getting tossed out left and right. He did get the morph off from the Faceless Void. Matu feeling very confident. Keeps going back in, playing a little bit, teasing them.
I think Liquid should reset here. They can keep pushing, but I think they would risk so much if they do so. So they're going to end up backing out. They dealt tremendous damage there, getting the kill on Morphling, forcing him to buy back as well, and only then backing out. In that fight, you could see how this Fear talent, by the way, on SF is crazy. If you have the Arcane Blink and the Fear talent, I was demoing this when the change came out together with Fogged, and you can do some crazy like 14, 15 seconds chain stun just with your ulti. And he has a Hex as well, so he can single target disable someone for like 20 seconds on SF. It's absolutely absurd. Morphling could not move in that fight.
I don't think anyone survives 20 seconds of just lockdown.
No, you have to BKB and not get hit by it. If it starts landing on you, you are trapped, and that's what happened to Morphling. I'd actually love to see that fight again, because Morphling, he was just running, but the fear never ends. The fear is extremely long duration.
That sounds like a very specific philosophy or something like that when you put it that way, Wagga.
Oh, and it's dark times here for VP. They were in such a commanding lead. They had like a 15,000 gold lead at one point in this game, and Liquid have brought it back. 51 minutes in, still quite even on the racks at least. In fact, if we think about racks, then VP are still ahead, but doesn't feel like that anymore.
Feels like they have to be so incredibly careful in the way that they approach these fights on the side of VP. because if they make even just the slightest mistake, Liquid has a lot of tools and a lot of lockdown to punish them with.
Yeah, I
Ramsey's
almost feel
still
like
top in net worth.
almost feel like he should have gone for that Hex on Timbersaw that he was putting in his quick buy earlier. He went for the Aghanims and then the Shivas. Now he has Aeon Disc ready to unlock. So that's good safety for him to a certain degree, but I think they're lacking good ways to control the SF and Void right now. And between Mickey and Matumba, they're just in complete dominance of the fights lately. It's so much AoE disabled between Chrono and like double Chrono and double Requiem.
Combing through the portion of the jungle. VP though, they haven't seen him on the map for a while, so they're gonna teleport back to their base. They go for their own smoke play. But it feels like it might be a case of ships passing in the night.
I think Liquid are happy to look for engagements now because of the forced buyback on Morphling that they achieved earlier. If they kill Morphling one more time, that's game over. Like, it's going to be enough to secure the win. So VP have to be so careful how they position. And they also bought an Aeon Disc on Morphling. Wow, this is not every day you see a carry Morphling Aeon Disc.
There's a scared Morphling.
It's one way to get himself out of it. But it's an unlocked one. Did he already have it last fight? I don't think he had it. Did he just not lock this one? Yeah, it hasn't triggered a single time. No, you can see it if it has triggered. Surprised that he unlocked it then, because usually players will keep them locked the way we see on DM. And I think that's a bit of a mistake, because if it triggers too early, that can be really bad for you.
Incoming!
We don't have Zai. He's sitting in the bottom lane currently.
Yeah, Zai is just shoving in bottom lane. VP are on a timer up here. They cannot stay in this area for too long. They are going to have to go back and probably all together. Right now, you can't afford to play alone too much. And the bottom racks goes down. Range racks dead to just the birds.
This is an opening now, knowing that they won't have GPK damage though. Gonna go for that charge forward. The Lincoln gets popped, and there it is. It's already in place with Monty. We're seeing so much damage. Focus is over onto Yams, over onto Dakota. They'll get the kill. The buyback comes out immediately from the side of Yamish. DM, though, he's so far away from everyone else. There's so much damage being put upon the youngest. Now going to proc. But again, they have the BKB, and this new damage coming out from Mickey is just so intense. Matu finds a kill. GPK pops it, but they have the second Chronosphere. That is just a dead invoker. He's going to buy back. The chase is on Ramses, though. They want to get him. He goes, he procs that Aeon Disc. He's got himself his own version of Faceless Void. Looking to possibly go back in now that GPK has rejoined the fight, as has DM. He's going to just put as much damage as he can over onto Zai Boxy, taking so much over to the side, but somehow still alive, still taking as they go. They kill GPK again. Ramses still just putting out the damage. Mata does go down, and now the pressure is on here, but Ramses doing so much damage. DM still alive, still very, very tanky. They're going back in, though. They're doing a decent amount of damage. Here comes Monty. They're trying to get there. Zai gets himself a double kill on DM, and now the chase is on. Can Ramses make it out in time? It's looking like he's gonna be able to survive this, but he has lost so much on the side of Virtus.pro. He's lost his teammates. They do not have buyback after that fight. Even the Primal Beast buying back, still alive. But this is gonna be one hell of a coming fight for the side of Virtus.pro, as this age is very much in the hands of Team Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid now finally able to see possible ending to this game at the end of the tunnel here. They finally get a huge team fight where they bring down like everyone basically, but there was some really nice plays. Rams is staying alive with the time walk, his Aeon Disc as well, which is sold again now after it was used. But
Yamich. Yamich, my friend, this is not looking good for you. Although they have the Glimmer Cape, they're just gonna go forward. Just gonna juke around though, break the ankles. Try to provide a little bit of distraction. They go, they drop the Static Storm over onto Mickey, but there's nothing to follow it up. These birds are actually doing so much work against Dakota just by himself. There's now Yamich over on the back line. Just continues, but they do have Ramses in the base. He's trying to base race. He's trying to finish off. He just tries to get the kill on Insania, but he's already got that voodoo switch through. Ramses, this is looking a bit scary. They pop that link as the BKB comes out. He's going to try to man fight here against Matu, but there's just so many heroes here, plus that hook shot coming through. Insania crawling away. He's going to survive. They're still trying to give chase here on Ramses, but
Ramses, God, what a play. That's insane. He forces them back. Zai in a little bit of trouble
Zai
now.
is still, he's still down here. But look at the damage coming out from Zai. He's just gonna solo this guy. Yamich barely alive. now he's just gonna try to teleport away. The glimpse is up though with 1 second, so this is gonna be
Morph is coming.
for a little bit longer. Yeah, there is a Morphling coming. They drop the birds. He's gonna just fly away though. Move those little wings. Get out of there, Zai.
That move by Ramses saved the entire game. I thought for sure it was GG, but the fact that he went top, he threatened to take the throne. Enough people TP'd home that somehow VP are still in this game. It's mind-blowing to me that they haven't lost right now. Ramses also got himself out of that situation safely. He made that play without having buyback available, and he just gets out as well. That's insane.
This is one hell of a match to start the day off with, and we're still just on game number 1.
I knew this was going to be good, and we're going to see a fight again here.
They have a silver edge though. They're going to open up over onto DM. The fuck with the Chronosphere. They grab Dakota off immediately. Yamish going to get cleaned up on the back lines. DM, it's already used that BKB, but the bash has come out. Plus this Aeon just keeping him up just a little bit longer. Ramses doesn't really want to be here because Nick Red Ray of Assault, they'll be able to kill DM. 2 dead over on the side of VP. 3 technically, but we do have a buyback. And we still have another Chrono with this refresher. They need to be careful. Ramsey's hiding in the tree line with GPK. Gets the Alacrity off the jump over onto Mickey immediately. But there it is, a Chrono over onto 3. They grab them. They should be able to blow up GPK. And now they want Ramsey. Are they going to be able to have the damage? Are they going to be able to do it? They call GG. They know it is the end of the line. Team Liquid starting off our day with one hell of a series against Virtus Pro.
Yeah, fantastic play from both teams here. A lot of crazy stuff went down. Oh my god. I mean, it's early in the morning here for me, but I feel completely awake after